Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and more good news today. A new cryptocurrency exchange has announced that they're going to be offering support of the airdrop for Spark tokens, which comes via XRP's quote-unquote utility fork. So I'll share with you everything that we know publicly about that. And I also have this thread. Have you guys been wondering... yeah, you have. I know you've been wondering, how much are these Spark tokens actually going to be worth? Well, I've got this thread here. There's a member of the XRP community that tried to work out the math on it, so I'll be sharing with you this as well as my reaction to it. And then I'll probably wrap up the video by explaining a little bit, for those that want to stick around, about about a tweet I put out yesterday, because I was having trouble getting my XRP off of Uphold. And even the CEO of the company, like right off the bat when I was explaining what's happening, didn't understand how it could be so. But I'll just say a long story short, because I am a fan of Uphold still. There ended up being a logical explanation that just wasn't obvious, and so I want to share that with you. And I don't blame myself for being alarmed one bit, and you'll see why. But I just want to be clear, like Uphold, they were excellent. They had excellent customer service. They have done nothing wrong. Everything. There's something I would tweak, which I'll explain too towards the later part of the video if I were them. But they didn't do anything wrong, and just I wanted to express that I've been using them over 2 years, and I'm just impressed with what they did for me. So anyway, before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button, I would definitely appreciate the support. And also, if you're a fan of another exchange offering support for the Spark token airdrop, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. Why the hell not? Don't cost nothing, son. And so there's this headline too from Daily Hodl I want to just briefly touch on. Came out today. XRP utility fork launching in December. Here's how crypto investors can receive Spark tokens. And so, in a nutshell, and this is part of what we learned yesterday, so I want to make sure that we all are caught up to speed at least on this part. There's going to be a snapshot date where whatever XRP you have in your account on this particular date, because it's basically just taking an image of the state of the XRP ledger at that moment in time, that is what's going to be used to determine how many Spark tokens you get for free. So for every XRP you have, you get one free Spark token minimum. And it could be more. It depends on because there's going to be 45 billion Spark tokens. If certain people or exchanges don't claim them, they're still going to exist. And it just means that it's just more for everybody else, basically. So that's what's happening here. So if you're an XRP holder, this is definitely something to be aware of, and you make your own decision on whether or not you want to claim your Spark tokens. I have decided, without question, I'm definitely going to be doing this here. One of the ways that you can do that is by keeping your XRP on exchanges that are choosing to participate in this airdrop. To this point, there are only two. The first one is Bitrue, and then the second one is Uphold. And so I personally, I'm very happy about this. I even tweeted out to Uphold just, I don't know, within the last few days or so. I was like, hey, I said something along the lines of like, hey, I think your exchange is great. Are you going to be participating in the the Spark token airdrop? And I just encouraged them, said, hey, I think that this would be a positive thing because it'll just make life easier for their customers, right? And so to me, it kind of seems like a no-brainer. I'm sure some exchanges for their own internal reasons aren't going to be interested in doing that, but super duper. Now for me, I don't care how great any exchange is, including Uphold, which I'm definitely a fan of. I don't keep my XRP any notable size on well, actually not any at all, really. I mean, I don't keep XRP on exchanges. I don't keep any crypto on exchanges. And so for me, this is not going to be my solution for claiming my Spark tokens. And so just beware, again, nothing against, I want super clear, nothing against Uphold, very happy with them, but I don't care what your exchange is. I'm not keeping my crypto on your exchange. That's it. Not your keys, not your crypto. You ever heard that? So I keep it on there for any exchange for as short a period of time as possible. But I know some people are going to want to do this, and it should make life easier. So I still think that it's a positive thing. It's just you got to make your decision for yourself. Are you willing to have all or some of your XRP on an exchange just to claim the token? And so here's the actual tweet from cryptocurrency exchange Uphold. After fervent public commentary, we're delighted to announce that Uphold is supporting the Spark token airdrop. You'll receive Spark tokens on a one-to-one basis to the amount of XRP you hold on December 12th, 2020, which is the snapshot date. So very cool stuff. Now, as far as what this is going to be worth, I've talked about this a little bit in the past. So part of what's neat, and you guys, if you've been following the world of crypto at all, a lot of what's happening in terms of like the frenzy around price action, it's around DeFi coins, decentralized finance coins. And so what's interesting about Spark is it implements for XRP the ability to engage in smart contracts and decentralized finance. And so just because the DeFi part is attached to this, it makes me wonder, will there be a frenzy around this in terms of price action? Well, here's the thing, and I tweeted to BitTrue yesterday. I said, okay, are you just doing the airdrop, or are you actually going to allow the Spark token to be traded? And to my knowledge, there has not been any cryptocurrency exchange on the planet to state that they will be trading the Spark token. And the price of Spark token right now is zero. First of all, it hasn't been released, but once it's released, if it's not tradable, I mean, it's not going to have a market price, right? And so it would certainly be my guess that at some point cryptocurrency exchanges will be trading this thing, and then we'll just kind of see what happens. Now, a lot of the crazy dollar increases you have been seeing for decentralized finance coins, a lot of it has to do with the fact that, so yes, admittedly frenzy, but they have very small supplies. So like that's why I've cited like Yearn Financial that's increased over 100,000%. It went from like $3 to a month later, almost 40 grand. It's completely insane, and I'm not interested in participating in that. Frankly, like there's no way I was gonna like buy that stuff. I mean, if you're doing it, hey, you do you, you do you, girl. I'm just saying, I personally am not going to go chase that stuff. I'm all about investing in cryptocurrencies that offer a genuine utility here, which is why I'm so happy about investing in XRP personally here. But still, I suspect it'll be worth something. So yeah, there's 45 billion, whereas with Yearn Financial, there's only 30,000 coins. Okay, so that's part of the reason you're seeing these high dollar figures here. But even so, and I do appreciate this, like people are trying to get to the truth. So here's this Twitter thread. I'm just going to share this with you. And I ended up feeling differently than what this gentleman wrote. But part of the cool thing, and this is like one of the most fun things in the world, is like thinking through from a critical thinking perspective, like what might make sense, right? And so this is an individual that struck me. He just struck me as somebody that's trying to get to the truth, sharing ideas, and I like to have a back and forth. So after reading through this, I wasn't convinced, and I'll share with you why, but I still appreciate people like trying to get to the truth of any matter, especially when you're talking about something like this, like the Spark token, which we're going to have the opportunity to get for free as XRP holders. It's kind of interesting to think, what might this be worth in the future? Right, and so this gentleman's name is Brendan, and he wrote the following. I did some calculations of the potential price of the Spark based on its utility and how it works with XRP. Spark needs to be used as collateral to make FXRP. According to the white paper, there needs to be 2.5 Spark for every 1 FXRP. Given that FXRP is the same price as XRP, the price of Spark needs to be at least 2.5 times the amount of XRP used in smart contracts. Now, okay, so as far as FXRP being the same price, and I admit that I'm still wrapping my head around some of this stuff, I don't know. I don't know where that was listed. I guess I personally hadn't seen it, but here's where I already start to have a little bit of issue. It's like when you start using words like, or maybe I do need to go a little bit further to explain it. Let me read that again. So, given that FXRP is the same price as XRP, the price, yeah, it needs. Okay, now this is what I was thinking of. When people start saying things like, XRP needs to be a certain price, or Spark needs to be a certain price, I think that they're kind of getting it backwards. So, with XRP, for example, people talk about how if XRP really just kind of replaces Nostra Vostra accounts and it's the new means for settlement, XRP is a bridge currency, then the price needs to be so-and-so. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that's actually just not how it works. It's exactly backwards. It's more like, if there is a sufficient blend of price and liquidity, then it can be used for that purpose. So it's not that the XRP price must be so-and-so to facilitate this, like it has to happen, as if there's some sort of price floor. No, there is no price floor. XRP is worth whatever humans decide that it's worth. And then if there's a sufficient enough blend of price and liquidity, then you can use it and continue to open up corridors. Right now, XRP is pretty damn illiquid, which is also what makes it exciting to be invested in it, from my opinion. But so just to be clear, in my opinion, that's exactly backwards. So it's the same thing with this. When you start talking about Spark needing to be a price, it's like, no. If it's going to be traded on a cryptocurrency exchange, it'll be worth whatever humans decide. And then if that results in reduced utility and usage, because of this, what he was citing here about 2.5 times the amount of XRP needs to be used in smart contracts. Okay, well then there would just be less utility. It doesn't mean that there's something mechanical creating a price floor. And so you might think people could look at that though, and so indirectly it could result in there being a substantially higher price. But if it's just being traded on exchange, there's nothing that forces that. Same for XRP, same for Spark. But I want to go through the rest of his thought process here. Then he writes examples. If 10% of the 45 billion XRP supply is used for smart contracts, that's 4.5 billion XRP locked up. If XRP is $1 for easy calculations, then you'll need 11.25 billion worth of Spark in United States dollars to collateralize that much FXRP. If you scale the 45 billion Spark tokens to be worth 11.25 billion market cap, then you get a price of 25 cents per Spark coin. However, if 20% is locked in smart contracts with XRP, $1 then Spark equals 50 cents per coin. If 10% of XRP is locked in smart contracts with XRP equals $5, then this goes to $1.25 per coin. If 20% of XRP is locked in smart contracts at XRP, $5, then Spark equals $2.50. And XRP gets to $100. If $100, then Spark will equal $12.50 with 5% locked up, $25 with 10%, and $50 with 20%. And then he writes, you can easily see how this could massively increase in value due to increased utility of FXRP in smart contracts. Please someone correct me if any of this is wrong. And so you can tell me, like, if you guys think that I'm missing something, I'm willing to be wrong. You got to convince me, though. So I still think that the way that I'm looking at this makes more sense, because it's just humans are going to decide what it's worth, and then you'll have plus or minus utility as a result of that. But, if I'm missing something, please let me know. I'm just trying to get to the truth. I'm always operating in good faith. I'm not always going to be right, but I think I'm right about this. All right, now to this real quick. I tweeted out yesterday, "This is alarming. I recently made large purchases on your exchange," and this I tagged Uphold in this, and I'd sent them emails and all sorts of stuff, and I wrote, "Your system has told me how much XRP I'm allowed to withdraw based on the settlement period. Every time I type in the amount that your system says I'm allowed to withdraw, the transaction fails, and I'm told I can withdraw marginally less. All right, I can't withdraw my XRP from your exchange. What's going on? I've made a number of attempts," and that is what was happening. It was weird. So I was trying to withdraw. And I made some smaller purchases, and so I had, and I'm aware of the settlement period. Like that's like I choose to accept that, not a big deal. And so I knew that I had some XRP that had gone through the settlement period, and so I typed in the amount that it said that I was able to withdraw, and then it just kept failing. So I was like, "What the hell is going on here?" And then after that, I refreshed it, and then it said that I had less to withdraw, and I'm like, "What is going on here?" And so ultimately, long story short here, what ultimately happened was on my XRP card on Uphold, I had settled and unsettled funds. And so given that the price of XRP was fluctuating, because it just does. Like normally, if you just have all settled funds on a card, you click on the little box that says I want to withdraw everything, and then if it fluctuates, it doesn't matter. It'll just withdraw anything at the moment, even if the amount, like the USD value of that changes. But I had settled and unsettled, so when the price would change, it would basically effectively think that I was trying to withdraw funds that were settled and unsettled, which you can't do. You have to wait for the settlement period to end. And so there's no way that I would have known that, so I don't blame myself for being alarmed here, not one bit. And I think that they should put up some little note that's just to prevent confusion like this in the future. I'm sure there's an artful way to do it. And so I wrote a whole thread explaining Uphold's good, this and that. But just to give you an idea of how uncommon this problem must be, you can see JP, who is the CEO of Uphold, he actually responded to me. And so one of the things I wrote was, "Why does your exchange tell me the amount of XRP I'm able to withdraw, but then not let me withdraw that amount?" And he wrote, "That shouldn't happen. Let me look into it." And I do appreciate it. So like he put an emphasis on this clearly. I really do appreciate it. And he had their team on the social media side, where I had written some stuff coordinating with just the customer service side, where they run their support tickets and everything. And so he did make sure that, like, he literally, the CEO of Uphold, and I'm very appreciative, made sure that that this was addressed. And so again, this kind of illustrates, though, like, this can't be a common thing, but it happened, right? So people don't normally encounter this, but if you have settled and unsettled funds, then that's just kind of going to be what's happened. But given that I tweeted that out yesterday and I didn't know what was going on, I just wanted to make sure that I addressed this on Twitter and in a video, because I don't want to, like, and look, I didn't think that they were doing anything shady, but I'll tell you, part of the reason I was alarmed is, first of all, I kept saying that I had less and less XRP that I could withdraw, and I was like, what the hell? And that in and of itself, but also After that purchase, I do have some funds that have not yet settled, and I shared with you guys on the channel. I didn't tell you how much I purchased, but I ended up making a couple very large purchases, and I had never made large purchases with Uphold. I've been using them for over 2 years, always been happy with them, but I hadn't made large purchases with them. And because I use different cryptocurrency exchanges and I have multiple wallets, just because I just want to kind of spread out risk basically. And so I had enough trust with them. I was like, no, they're fine. They work. I'm just going to go ahead and make a couple large purchases with them, which I hadn't done before. And so that's why, given I had done that, and they, like, from my perspective, was like, you're not letting me withdraw my XRP that's settled? I was like, what is going on here? So that's why I was super duper alarmed. Again, I don't blame myself for that, but it ends up being the case that there was a logical reason for it. And I just think it would be ideal if they could just kind of inform customers that this is potentially something that could happen, so that there's not people like me getting freaked out. Because if I just known that, everything would have been cool. It would have been totally fine. But that said, I will tell you, they ended up being very, very prompt. Once JP, the CEO of Uphold, got things rolling here, they emailed me in short order, and I wrote back and said, because they just let me know they're moving on this. And so after about an hour and a half, they just had somebody from the customer support team that wrote a very thorough response, making sure and apologizing and like justifying their policies as far as like settlement times, which they didn't have to do. Like, I'm cool. Like, I understand their settlement. I have no beef with you doing that. It's all about security. Like, go for it, right? So, but I really appreciated the approach that they took and how prompt they were. They're all nothing but professional, and so I'm going to continue to use Uphold. I think that they're just a great exchange. I really love the platform. It's super easy to use. It always has been here. So anyway, in case any of you were wondering what's going on, the last thing I'd want to do is like muddy the name of Uphold when they haven't done anything. Like, admittedly, yeah, put a message up so that people like me don't get scared. I would suggest that, but they haven't done anything wrong. They're fine. They're a great exchange here. So I just wanted to make sure I was taking some time so that nobody thought, okay, something fishy going on with Uphold. No, there's nothing fishy going on with Uphold. If something bad does happen in the future, I'll let you know. But I think that they're a great exchange and it's fine. So there we are. Anyway, that is it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!